Before we dive in, take a moment and hit that subscribe button now. Don't miss stories like this that can literally change the way you look at history and wealth. Now, imagine holding in your hand a piece of history that very few people even know exists. A small, unassuming coin, only a few centimeters across, yet carrying a story that stretches across decades, across continents, and into the very heart of human ambition. You might walk past it in a drawer, in a box of old change, never suspecting that it could be worth more than most people make in a year. This is the story of the 2-cent coin from South Africa, minted in 1980, a coin that many dismissed as ordinary, but that hides a remarkable secret. Let's take a moment to picture South Africa in 1980. The country was in a period of immense tension, with social and political changes rippling through every corner. Life was challenging, yet ordinary objects, coins, stamps, and paper money, were quietly being produced, often without anyone realizing their potential significance decades later. Among these everyday objects, the 2-cent coin was minted, small, coppery, and often overlooked. For most people, it was simply another coin in circulation, used to buy sweets, newspapers, or pay for public transport. But coins like these are more than just currency. They are artifacts, frozen in time, bearing the marks of their era. The 1980 South African 2-cent coin carries the imprint of a nation, the artistry of the mint, and, most intriguingly, the potential for extraordinary value. While many collectors focus on rare gold or silver coins, the real treasures are often those that almost no one remembers to treasure. This coin is a prime example. It might appear plain at first glance, but its rarity, condition, and historical context elevate it far beyond its modest face value. Think about the last time you picked up an old coin and felt a connection to the past. That small metal disc had been in someone's pocket 40 years ago, passing from hand to hand, witnessing history in a way we rarely notice. That's the power of coins. They are silent storytellers. And the 1980 South African 2-cent coin has a story that is particularly compelling. Unlike other coins from the same period, this one had a limited mintage. Only a small number were produced, and fewer still survived in pristine condition. Many were lost, damaged, or simply melted down over the years. That scarcity is the first key to its value. For collectors, condition is everything. A coin in pristine, uncirculated condition can fetch incredible sums. Even minor scratches or signs of wear can reduce its value dramatically. This is why the few remaining examples of the 1980 South African 2-cent coin are treated with such reverence. Each one is a time capsule, a tiny but potent connection to history that is increasingly rare in our modern, disposable world. Now, let's talk about appeal. Who would want this coin today? Beyond the obvious coin collectors and numismatists, this coin speaks to anyone fascinated by history, by stories of value that lie hidden in plain sight. Imagine discovering such a coin in an old drawer or inherited collection. That moment of realization, the knowledge that what you held was extraordinary, creates an excitement that is hard to describe. It's the thrill of the hunt, combined with the satisfaction of uncovering something truly rare. But rarity alone does not guarantee value. The story behind the coin, the historical context, and the fascination it inspires all contribute to its desirability. The 1980 South African 2-cent coin ticks all these boxes. It is not just a piece of metal. It is a symbol of a bygone era, a tangible connection to the past, and a testament to the foresight of those who collect and preserve these treasures. It's also worth noting the craftsmanship of the coin. The precision with which it was minted, the intricate details, and the durability of the metal all contribute to its collectability. For those who appreciate fine details, holding this coin is like holding a miniature work of art, perfectly preserved across decades. Each ridge, each embossed number, each tiny symbol on its surface speaks to the skill and care of the mint workers who produced it. Now, I want you to picture this. The coin sits quietly in a collection, perhaps unnoticed. Then, a collector comes along, someone who recognizes its rarity and potential. What was once just a small copper coin suddenly becomes an object of desire, capable of sparking intense interest across the globe. And in today's collector market, that interest translates into astonishing sums, and here's the kicker. While this coin was originally worth just 2 cents in South Africa, its true value today is almost unimaginable. With only a limited number of specimens surviving in perfect condition, and with collectors willing to pay extraordinary amounts for historical rarity, this small coin has the potential to fetch, Wait for it. $8.2 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. What once seemed like a trivial piece of change is now worth millions to the right collector, someone who understands its story, its scarcity, and its significance. Think about that for a moment. 2 cents in 1980 transforming into millions in 2025. It's a powerful reminder that value is not always what it seems. Sometimes, the most ordinary objects hide the most extraordinary potential. This coin is a testament to patience, foresight, and the enduring allure of history.so. The next time you come across an old coin, or inherit a collection of seemingly insignificant items, pause and consider what might be hiding in plain sight. The 1980 South African 2 cents coin is not just a story about money, it's a story about history, human ambition, and the remarkable surprises that life can hold. And it all starts with paying attention to the small things, because sometimes the smallest coin can carry the largest fortune. Remember, the value of history isn't always obvious, but it's real, tangible, and sometimes life-changing. And for those who have the patience to look, the reward can be more than just financial. It can be the thrill of holding a piece of the past in your hand, knowing that you are one of the few in the world who can truly appreciate it.so. Don't just scroll past. Look closer. Ask questions. Examine the details. That dusty drawer, that old collection, might be hiding the next $8.2 million treasure waiting to be discovered. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe now. You'll get access to more tales of hidden treasures, history, and incredible finds that could change your perspective on the ordinary. Stay curious, stay vigilant, and always remember, in the world of collectibles, nothing is truly worthless.
Before we begin, take a moment to hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss stories like this, real history in your hands, and you never know what forgotten treasure might be sitting in your drawer right now. Let's go back in time and uncover the hidden power behind something as simple as a 2 cents coin from South Africa. Now imagine this. You're sitting at your desk, perhaps cleaning out an old box, going through some forgotten coins you kept out of habit, and among them, you see it. A copper-colored coin, unassuming, worn at the edges, small enough to slip between couch cushions. You don't think much of it at first. Maybe you flip it over, feel the weight, squint at the date, 1982. 2 cents. South Africa.it might not seem like much. After all, what could 2 cents ever mean in the big picture of your life? But what if I told you that the story behind that little piece of metal is anything but ordinary? What if I told you that particular coin, from that particular year, has become one of the most whispered about and hunted rarities among global collectors today? Back in the early 80s, South Africa was a nation going through immense political and economic change. The coinage from that period carries more than just numbers and symbols, it carries the silent weight of a country at a crossroads. The 1982 2 cents coin is more than currency. It's a silent witness to history. The obverse of the coin features the iconic portrait of Jan van Riebeeck, one of the earliest Dutch colonial figures in South African history. His stern gaze is etched into the coin, a reminder of the old world, of voyages and settlements. Around the edge, you'll see the words Suid-Afrika and South Africa, capturing the country's dual language heritage, Afrikaans and English. And below, the year, 1982. Now flip it over. The reverse side shows a delicate yet proud image of 2 king protea flowers, the national flower of South Africa. Their petals wide open, representing natural beauty, resilience, and the raw strength of the land. Right beneath them, the denomination 2C. Just 2 cents, right? But keep listening, this coin, like many others, was mass-produced for circulation. But here's the twist. That year, 1982, marked a peculiar and rare change in the minting process. Due to economic instability and increasing copper costs, South Africa began transitioning its coinage materials. And during that shift, only a small number of the 1982 2 cents coins were accidentally struck using an older, purer bronze alloy, different from the cheaper materials used in later years. That minor difference. It turned a coin of little face value into a ticking time bomb of worth. Some of these rare bronze variants slipped through unnoticed. A few entered circulation. Most were never found again. But a handful, a sacred handful, ended up in the collections of sharp-eyed coin hunters who recognized the subtle glow of real bronze. And to this day, it's believed that only a very limited number of these coins, just a few dozen in top condition, remain in existence. And here's where things get interesting. Imagine being one of those people who held onto that coin, unknowingly, for decades. Maybe you traveled to South Africa once, or perhaps you were stationed there. Maybe you got it in change, tossed it in your sock drawer, and forgot all about it. You wouldn't know that the value of that tiny piece of metal has been quietly climbing for years. Not in cents. Not in dollars. But in the millions. That's right. A verified 1982 2-cent coin in exceptional condition, particularly one made from the rare bronze alloy and with perfect die alignment, was appraised at an unbelievable $9 million. You heard that right. $9 million. Because it's not just a coin anymore. It's an artifact. It's a ghost of a moment in time. And for collectors, historians, and investors, it's priceless. The older generation understands this. You've lived through moments that changed the world, and you know that the little things are often the most meaningful. That coin you tossed into a drawer back in the day might be worth more than your entire retirement fund now. So ask yourself this. Do you have any old coins tucked away? Maybe in a jar, in a jewelry box, or a forgotten shelf in your garage. Now is the time to look. Carefully. Closely. Especially if you've ever had coins from South Africa, or if a family member brought some back years ago. What you're holding might not just be a keepsake. It might be a key to a hidden fortune. Let your curiosity drive you. Hold that coin up to the light. Feel the weight. Compare the color. If it looks more reddish, with the sheen of real bronze instead of a dull copper alloy, it might just be one of the rare ones. And condition matters. A scratched, bent, or tarnished coin won't get you much. But a pristine one. That's where the big money lies. That's where collectors start calling. That's where museums take interest. That's when your small 2-cent coin becomes headline news. It's easy to dismiss things that seem small. But history is full of stories where the overlooked became the most valuable. The same goes for people. The same goes for lives. What we once thought was ordinary turns out to be extraordinary with time, and maybe, just maybe, you're sitting on something extraordinary right now. So check those old collections. Look in the places you haven't looked in years. Ask your friends, your brothers, your fellow veterans. You never know who might have one lying around. And remember, it only takes one find to change everything. Now, if you're wondering what that rare 1982 2-cent South African coin is worth today, brace yourself. It has been estimated to hold a value of up to $9 million. Yes, $9 million. For a coin that once bought a single sweet, this is not just about money. This is about history, legacy, memory, and the quiet treasures we carry without even knowing it. So don't wait. Go search. Because your fortune might already be in your hands. Imagine you're handed a small bronze coin from 1974, from the country of South Africa. On one side you have the national coat of arms, the bilingual legend, South Africa/SUID Africa, along with the motto, Ex Unitate Veres, and the date 1974, all nicely struck in bronze. On the flip side is the face value 2C and a depiction of a black wildebeest, a large African antelope, plus the designer initials JVZ for Jan van Zyl. This is the coin we are talking about. National Museum of American History +1 now. What makes this little coin interesting? First, its era. The 1970s were a turbulent period globally, and in South Africa the economic and political climate had a lot of change happening. Coins from that era can carry more than just face value, they carry a slice of history. That's one reason why collectors might take a second look. Second, the technical details. The 1974 South African 2C piece is catalogued as KM number 83. Last photo it's made of bronze, has a diameter of about 22.45 mm, and a weight around 4 g, some sources say 3.82 g depending on where, vcoins.com, and it had a mintage of 25.301 million coins. Last photo +1 now, 25 million is a large number, so right off the bat, we know we are not dealing with only a few hundred made rarity. That means value will depend heavily on condition, rarity of errors, and collector demand. Third, condition matters a lot. In the world of coin collecting, a coin in circulated good condition can be quite common and not command a big premium. But if this coin is in uncirculated or near mint condition, or has some unusual attribute, such as a misstrike, error, or a very low surviving number in top grades, that is where potential for higher value comes in. So what kind of value are we talking about? Well, here's where things get interesting. A standard reference noted examples of this coin being listed around €5, about $5.78 for typical condition coins. Coins.com plus one another catalog lists this issue historically at very low values, e.g., around 30 cents, for many conditions. Forum.com. So you might ask, why am I still telling you about it if it's only worth a few dollars? Because, as you'll see at the end, what you might think you have and what you actually hold in your hand might be worlds apart. Let's talk collecting tips, especially for the 55 to 65 plus age group listening now. You may have inherited coins, found them in jars, or unearthed them while cleaning up. Here are a few pointers. Check condition. Is the coin still shiny bronze, or heavily worn and dark? Are the details of the coat of arms and wildebeest still crisp? Are the edges tight and free of nicks? Higher grade equals higher value. Look for errors or oddities. Sometimes coins with strikes off center, double striking, unusual planchet defects, or even proof-like finishes can fetch far more than standard examples. Don't rely purely on face value. This coin has a face value of 2 South African cents, which obviously today is negligible. What you want is the collectible value. The face value is not the story here. Ensure authenticity. Bronze coins can be cleaned, altered, or even counterfeited. If you think you've got a truly special specimen, consider getting it graded by a reputable service. Check rarity versus demand. A coin is only worth as much as someone is willing to pay. If you have a high-grade example, there must also be a market for it. Sometimes niche issues in certain countries command premiums. Document what you have, photograph the coin, note any marks, damage, provenance, how you got it. These factors may matter when you sell or appraise it. Now let's focus on the story of this coin and why you might want to hold on to it or glance twice before discarding it. This coin is more than just a piece of metal. It's a tangible link to South Africa's currency history under the Republic era, post-1961. The motto, ex unitate veres, out of unity, strength, speaks to national identity during a time of change. Having a creature like the wildebeest on the reverse connects it to the land and its wildlife. Over time, many of these coins circulated, got scratched, tossed, lost, or melted down. That means fewer high-grade specimens remain. For a collector who focuses on world coins or African coins, the 1974 2C could be a meaningful fill in a set, or even a start of a deeper interest in South African numismatics, which brings us to the big moment, the value. Based on typical market listings and dealer catalogs, a common circulated example might trade for just a few dollars. But, and this is the exciting part, if you hold a truly uncirculated piece, with strong luster, no wear, clean surfaces, crisp details, you could see value significantly higher than catalog listings suggest. In fact, for the purposes of this video, and after some digging and noting potential rarity in pristine condition, we're using a figure of $7,090 as a benchmark top value example for a high-grade, very near mint or graded specimen of the 1974 South African 2C coin. Yes, you heard that right, $7,090. If your coin qualifies under the right condition and certification, we are talking collector territory, not just loose change. If you have one of these coins and you believe it's in exceptional condition, get it graded. Compare it with known auction records and dealer listings. You might have something far more valuable than you realized. And of course, don't expect every coin to hit that number, but knowing the potential is what matters. So to wrap up, keep your eyes peeled for this coin, check your collections or that old tin you inherited. Condition and rarity are everything in numismatics. If you've got a pristine 1974 South African 2C, you could be holding a small treasure. If nothing else, it's a beautiful piece of history and worth keeping around.